Hey everybody, if you don't know, the Star Trek Discovery trailer posted yesterday. It was on YouTube. There's a couple versions. There's like a UK version and a US version, which I didn't really realize until we started recording this. But we're going to go through and give some quick thoughts about it. Clay is here to talk about this one. It's the Discovery trailer, which just came out on YouTube. Clay, you saw it. You alerted me to it. What'd you think? What'd you think of the trailer?
Well, I alerted it to you because I was biologically created for one function, and that is to tell when there is an oncoming trailer. And I sensed one coming.
Hopefully that line lands a little bit better. I was I wasn't blown away, and I wasn't disappointed. I mean, this is all. We'll give the usual disclaimer. It's a trailer. Like there's not a lot you can really dig out of it. It's more offensive when the trailer completely shits the bed and doesn't get anything very right.
Yeah.
This one seemed okay, and I actually think the UK version does a better. Did you watch the UK version by any chance?
I haven't. I'll have to go back and watch that.
Yeah, the UK version does a better job of latching it to Star Trek. There's a lot of
Why do they do that? Like, just as an
know.
aside, why do they always have like foreign trailers? Or I guess I shouldn't say foreign because it's depending on where you're from. Why do as far as we're concerned, the foreign trailers always have more stuff in it?
I don't know. It's weird. It's basically the same structure as the American one. They add a few close-ups and they add iconic sounds. There's like the red alert sound is in it that I don't think is in the American trailer. Mm-hmm. But we'll stick to the American trailer since I'm sure 90% of the audience is listening to that one. As I said, I think the trailer just kind of stuck in my mind about everything that I'm sort of worried about it being a prequel for. It kind of just sticks to me out that way, where it's a lot of, I can see potentially problematic prequel issues that come out of it. But the look of it looks good.
Yeah, I was really surprised at how good it looks. I mean, especially as a show on exclusively on CBS's subscription network, which I didn't even know was a thing until they started talking about this show.
First episode is going to be on network on CBS.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, regardless, I mean it looks there's some money behind it at least, and the designs are nice. I like the first look at the uniforms are cool. It's kind of like a halfway point between. There's a certain level of suspension of continuity disbelief, I think, when it comes to Star Trek, specifically with the uniforms,
right?
Because there's they expect you to believe that you go from the Enterprise uniforms, which are like pretty functional jumpsuits that still have the same coloring, to these jumpsuits, which are a lot more kind of military looking and like well designed.
Yeah.
And then like 10 years later, they were like, you know what? What if we just give everybody T-shirts and skirts?
And just have everything's made out of like crushed velvet, suede shirts. Yeah. It doesn't really line up. I was hoping, I actually was a little bit surprised that the visually, to me, it looks a lot like JJ Trek.
Yeah, I didn't think it was too much like that. I thought it had some of that, but it felt more, it just felt modern,
Right.
It felt like let's put it this way. It feels like it has a little bit of Battlestar Galactica in it too.
It does, yeah.
Because there's like never any lights on in Battlestar Galactica,
right.
And all of the shots of the bridge, at least in this trailer, seemed like there was just like, it was like they crossed the two. So they shut off all the lights, but then they had that one light in the background that JJ just shines directly at the camera.
Yeah, and it washes out the character's face for slightly. They do that a lot. I thought that the visually it looked like JJ, except I thought they did a better job of making the bridge feel like the design would actually be a precursor to the TOS bridge. It's similar, but it looks a little bit more militaristic or something like that. It looks a little bit darker and a little bit less sort of form-fitting for what the ship is and everything like that. But yeah, that's visually, I think it looks good. I thought the acting...
It looks better than... I mean, I know this other thing is supposed to be a joke, but did you see that new Seth MacFarlane show?
Yes.
Like, I was expecting it to look like that.
How?
And it doesn't look like that, so that's good.
I can't understand how that MacFarlane show is not a single episode. How do you make a series out of that show?
I think you cancel it after a season. I don't know. I shouldn't say that because shows I never expect to go on at all end up going on forever.
Yeah,
so.
I think American Dad is still on, but I think that the
Big Bang Theory is like the highest paid actors in the universe or some shit. It's ridiculous.
Well, a good thing for Star Trek Discovery is that along with the trailer, they actually announced news that they gave them 2 extra episodes, so there's going to be 15 episodes instead of 13, which
cool.
implies a lot of confidence on the network's part.
Yeah, definitely.
So we'll see how that goes. I don't know how that'll probably maybe lead to like a Netflix problem where episodes 8 and 9 are going to be terrible and slow everything down.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. That is something I don't think they've figured out how to really combat yet when it comes to like streaming stuff.
Yep.
Because Netflix is a perfect example. Like I really enjoy all the Marvel Netflix shows, but man, you hit that like middle section and it's just 2 or 3 episodes are just waiting. You're just waiting for something to happen.
Well, I think that CBS is still releasing these weekly, even though they're online. So there's not going to be the binge watch of them. Mm-hmm. I think that's what they're doing anyway. So that would, I mean, on the positive side, I would hope it would actually lead to a slightly less serialization part to it. You know, like where they might have a couple episodes that are just kind of one-offs, which would be good. In the trailer, we didn't see what's that guy? The actor's name, Jason. He's been cast.
Jason Isaacs.
Jason Isaacs. He's not in the trailer, is he?
No, he's not.
Yeah, I didn't see him.
But if there's some mystery in the season about like who the bad guy is, it's probably him.
Right. Yeah. Spoilers. And a lot of Klingons in this one. What'd you think of the Klingons?
I am not totally sold on the Klingons.
Yeah.
Assuming that's what we were seeing, because that they definitely juxtapose the words and symbols of recognizable to the Klingons with those aliens to make it seem like they were Klingons. The reason I'm saying it like this is because they look weird.
They look weird.
They look like over-designed or something.
They do resemble Klingons. I'm pretty sure they are the Klingons. And someone on Twitter actually said, do I think that those are Klingons from the past or the future? Which I actually didn't consider. Which it could be, I guess. They seem maybe not super religious. I mean, the Klingons in TNG are certainly religious. They're doing a lot of ceremonies in this trailer. They're like resurrecting somebody.
Do you think we'll get the guy from the painting? What's his name? The guy? Yeah, is Kalis going to be in this?
Maybe he's the one in the sarcophagus or something.
Oh, that would be amazing for like 8 people.
It would be the same actor wearing the same thing. Yeah, I thought that the Klingons they're fine. They're designed like I actually, since I'm making a video for it, I went through and I had to like freeze frame some of the clips and I was looking at them. They once you look at them, they look a little bit more Klingon-y than they look at first. They have they sort of have the head plate and everything like that, and their costuming is very different. They look like they're going to take them in a more of like a religious ceremonial way than they've ever been seen.
They definitely seem a little bit more primitive.
Yep.
But, who knows? That could be some sect of Klingons or something.
It could be, yeah.
Because if that's just the blanket Klingon, I find it hard to believe that in 10 years they go from that to what they are in the original series.
Right.
It's like, what is it? They're basically space Russians, right?
Yeah, basically they have goatees and spray on tan, and that's how you know that they're Klingons. Yeah, I don't think there's much else to it. It didn't really blow me away. It does the typical trailer thing of like flashing like back then they discovered this, then back then they discovered that.
Right.
No moment really stuck out at me. The line that you mentioned about that alien who mentions that he was bred to sense when death is coming and he senses it now, which is a little bit overwritten, that line, if that's actually what he says.
It reminds me of the line from the Miami Vice trailer that ended up getting excised from the actual movie, I think, because people made fun of it too much. Where I can't remember if it's Crockett or Tubbs, but one of them is on the phone and he says, "Do you understand the meaning of the word foreboding? It means something bad is about to happen," or something like that. And it's just really weird. Like and he says it so like earnestly.
Yeah.
That it's just like, that's a really awkward line of dialogue to hinge your trailer, let alone your movie on.
I think the only thing to wrap up is, besides two female leads, obviously, it seems. There's the older captain and the first officer, whose name is Michael, I believe, and I can't remember what the captain's name is.
One thing I did pick up, which is kind of cool, if this is what I don't know if they've announced this at all, but the younger... Is Michael the younger one?
I think the character's name is Michael, I'm pretty sure.
Sure. Is she supposed to be a human who was raised by a Vulcan?
She might be. I was wondering if she's somehow half Vulcan, but she's definitely interacting with Sarek, right? That's supposed to be Sarek, the Vulcan.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So...
But yeah, it seemed like there was definitely some sort of implication that she is, either part Vulcan or raised with the Vulcan, which I think is actually really interesting. It's kind of like flipping the Worf thing on its head.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
that could be kind of cool.
That would be interesting if she is pure human who was raised by them, and that would make her some kind of half sibling to Spock or something, like an adoptive sibling. Which maybe we get into problems about how he doesn't actually know about this, but
maybe she goes through massive cosmetic surgery and turns into the guy from Star Trek V.
Right. Poor Cyborg. Yeah, I think that's I think we talked about it enough. I'm excited that it's actually happening. The trailer didn't blow me away, but it didn't disappoint me at all. And you don't see a lot of the ship, actually. Which is... Yeah. And the ship design actually does look like the mock-up. It looks a little bit better, but it still has the general shape of the mock-up that they showed a couple months ago.
Yeah, it looks a little bit more...
industrial or something?
Yeah, it doesn't look as... The last one felt very hard and geometrical, like that Sid Mead concept that we had talked about at the
Titan,
time.
yeah.
Yeah, but it looks like they kind of refined it and, smoothed it out a little bit.
I do think that there are supposed to be multiple ships in this. I think there are multiple captains. So
really?
Yeah, there's probably multiple ships. I don't know if that's actually the Discovery that we're seeing. It might be. I don't even know if it's been confirmed that there is a ship named Discovery. There would have to be, I would think. But we'll see, I guess, when we get to it. But yeah, I thought it was fine. It's good. The UK version, you guys should check that out. It's actually a little bit more... it's interesting to watch it after the American version to see what they changed. And I do think they make a better job of linking it to the previous series with the noise and the special effects and everything like that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
All right, Discovery, when it comes out, it comes out. That's our thoughts about the trailer. We'll see you next time.